Hey guys, welcome back. It's Maverick here today with another episode of Monogatari Mondays. Yes, we're continuing Owarimonogatari. I skipped an episode last week, although not exactly voluntarily. I was kind of sick and I needed to catch up with my other stuff, and I am still on a tight schedule during day-to-day stuff. So, it just happened to skip it, right? Thankfully, we were actually at a position where I could, take the luxury of having a skipped episode because we just ended the arc, right, with the entire Sodachi situation. I mean, I guess technically it's the second arc within Owarimonogatari, but I would argue that they are kind of interrelated in a way. And the Sodachi arc and Sodachi herself did turn out to be one of, probably to me, one of the most interesting characters and storylines so far in Monogatari. Although it's funny because I actually find a lot more fun in regards to situations which doesn't focus on what we can technically call the main characters here, right? Like Senjougahara or Hanekawa or whatnot. But I guess that's just me, right? Like anything in regards to Kaiki, I love, and like the Sodachi arc, I loved. And what else? The Sengoku parts, I liked a lot as well. So. Who knows? Is that going to continue on? I'm not really sure what's up in the next arc, although I can see the title, and apparently it's something to do with Shinobu, right? So, with that in mind, let's get into this next episode. Alright, let's begin in 3, 2, 1, play. That's Heart Underblade, right? Not Shinobu. Okay. What did happen to Kaiki? I don't think it was actually made clear, right? Crab, snail, monkey. Oh! Hey, it's all the girls. Green. I guess it's supposed to be a phoenix? Alright. Nice intro there, although I still have absolutely no idea what you're trying to talk about. Oh, is this going to be a pure instrumental as well? I think all of Shinobu slash Heart Underblade's openings have been instrumentals, right? Or, I guess not quite instrumentals, but not exactly sung by her. This is German? My shots. Shinobu male. Oh, oh, oh. Sure. Does this actually work in the translation though? Yeah, this is a pretty deep level pun, I feel. Wait, is this... Hmm? Wait, does Araragi have his powers right now? Wait, is this in the past or is this... I know they made a big point about the, what the current timeline is, but I'm still kind of like... It's taking a while for me uh, to get tuned into the timeline right now. I mean, this is after summer break, right? Eh, sure. You go, girl. Why are you looking at people with your butt, Kanbaru? Okay, fine. Back to the topic at hand. Is she gonna turn this into, are you gonna ask me help from graduating from Virginia? Well, then technically, wait, is this before or after, him doing it with Senjougahara? Alright, never mind. That's inconsequential. Oh, actually, wait. In the third year or I was wondering if this is like perhaps when Senjougahara and Hanekawa were off doing their own thing. But hmm? Oh, this background music. Isn't this Kaiki's background music? No, 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 no. I don't think it's quite similar. Alright, can we move on already, please? That's that. Shinobu? The fuck? What in the world? Uh-huh. What? Where are we going with this story? It's sword? I mean, the only obvious thing I see that's missing is its sword, right? Its katana. Although I guess technically that doesn't count as armor, right? Wish granted. Now, what is it missing? I can't really see clearly because it's so black. Wait, what is it? Dodge! What, something about energy drain? Yeah, I believe. Oh. Yeah, I think in the flashing text there, it said something about observing energy or draining energy. Yeah. So I guess it is related somehow to Shinobu, Heart Under Blade. Nikero, Nikenai. One last kick. Hmm. Oh. What? What? Hanekawa? Oh, that's supposed to sound like Araragi? Okay. Right. So it was in regards to the sword. Okay, that's a stupid laugh. Right. So it was the sword. Okay. Alright. I guess that was a nice way to relieve the tension now. Ooh. Mm. I mean, I guess technically that's true, right? He has other reasons why he needs to die together with her. I actually don't get, like, what was that thing that stopped that suit of armor, and why did it set this place on fire? Kanbaru said something about Hanekawa, but... Oh, hello. And she has, like, so much soot on her. Oh, no, it seems fine. Right, again, this is one of those situations where we're just thrown into it and I'm just like, what the hell are we doing right now? Okay, I am going back to look first at the exact timeline of this situation. I will see you guys after this. Well, alrighty, so I guess, even though I kept on being, unconfident in terms of where actually the series is, my initial hunch was actually correct, and this is indeed happening at the same time when Senjougahara and Hanekawa were off doing their own thing, right? There was a certain arc, I believe, back in Season 2, or at least the cusp between Season 1 and Season 2, where those two kind of bonded over a particular arc, right? And then, throughout the entire arc, Araragi was not there, and he only arrived at the very end of the arc. I believe it's Tsubasa Tiger, I think, right? And that I recall this because I keep on remembering that there was this unfinished story there, right? Because he mentioned that he was off doing something with Kanbaru, but then we never got to see it, right? I thought that we were going to see it directly after, but instead we had the entire Mayoi arc, where then Araragi went back in time, or... Actually, did he go back? Did he go to the future? Go back in time? Go back in time, right? Yeah, go back in time. So, and you know, the entire Mayoi situation, right? And we never really got the full explanation of what Araragi was doing with Kanbaru at that time. And I mean, it wasn't even implied that much. It was basically only, it was only mentioned in passing as well, right? my memory is a little bit distorted, but I do believe the start of that particular arc was with them mentioning that Araragi had went off to find Kanbaru, off to do some other thing, right? I was always assuming at that time that it might have had something to do with Kaiki at that point, but I guess we'll see here, right? So apparently it has something to do with Shinobu / Heart Underblade and their backstory. So we can finally figure out the entirety of this particular story. And also, I guess it's kind of a big deal in a way, because otherwise there's no particular reason why Araragi would need to recount the story right now to Ogi, right? Because, looking through the introduction part of this episode once again, it seems that Araragi is being forced to tell Ogi about, what actually happened here during those few days where we had... Now that I think about it, we had multiple events going on, right? We had Senjougahara and Hanekawa off doing their own thing. What was the end of that arc, anyways? I almost completely forgot about like what that particular arc was about. I mean, obviously it had to do with Hanekawa, right? And her sort of confronting her own the existence of an aberration within her, or the fact that she is an aberration in some sort of way, I guess. But then, if that's the case, then why did they suddenly talk about? Why did Kanbaru suddenly mention about Hanekawa here in this episode, right? Oh, were they kind of connected? Huh. I seem to recall there was a certain scene back in Tsubasa Tiger. Wait, sorry, not. Yeah. I seem to recall there was a scene back there where, during that particular arc where I think they went to this abandoned school, ruins school, abandoned school, or whatever you want, abandoned cram school, right? And something happened there. Right, and they actually did something to the school as well. Are those two things connected? They happen at the same time, right? Because I guess I cheated a little bit and quickly look at the timeline, but I had my suspicion that this was happening at the same time. And if that's the case, then also the situation where Araragi went back in time, that also happened somewhere around the same time, right? Man, this is certainly one busy week? Question mark. And is this still in summer break? I can't even remember like all of this at this point, but I think it is a situation where there's multiple things happening at the same time. So we now see the other end of this story, which apparently has something to do with Shinobu / Heart Underblade. I mean, it's quite obvious here, right? The samurai, whatever he is, or samurai spirit, wants to get back his little katana there, and I guess maybe we'll learn a little bit more about Heart Underblade or Kishot / Shinobu's backstory, even though we already know a lot about it at this point. Yeah, and I guess another thing even more curious about this is that why is Ogi so interested in this particular story at this point, right? Now, obviously, she is like this sort of big bad final boss antagonist character as of right now, anyways. But what does this story have to do with everything else that is going on, right? That is indeed another big question mark that I have. As for the episode itself, I mean, there's not really too much to add here. I mean, essentially half of this was just banter between Kanbaru and Araragi anyways. And I mean, Kanbaru's gonna be Kanbaru. What can you say, right? But yeah, I think beyond that, there's not really too much else to add at this point. Though Ononoki appearing was certainly also a little bit of a surprise. This was I think this is before the arc where we really got more introduced and more familiar with Ononoki, right? Because this should have happened shortly after the situation where they went up again and tried to take Araragi's sister away, right? So I guess they're still not entirely on the bestest of terms, but actually, even though I say that, they did end that situation, right? So yeah, I guess this is one of the reasons why Araragi did grow close with Ononoki, and so later on when we get into the Ononoki arc, it made a lot more sense where, they had some pretty cordial interactions with each other. But then again, it is Araragi, right? He can befriend any cute girl that he wants. So, maybe kind of a moot point. Anyways, I'm kind of rambling around here, but that's because I don't really have too much else to add at this point, except that, yes, I do see that it's happening at around the same time. I still have my suspicions that the ultimate goal of Araragi calling out Kanbaru here was something to do with Kaiki instead, but I'm not 100% sure about that. The only thing I have right now is because, two things, right? We know that Kaiki wants to have something to do with Kanbaru's family, and I do recall that Araragi wanted to help that situation in some way before, right? Even though we never really got to the end of that part. And then the second thing is because there was this brief point where we had that background music there, which kind of reminded me of Kaiki's theme, even though I don't think it's exactly similar. So, that's what I'm going for now. And of course, if anything else happens, well, we'll see later on down the line. So, there we go. That's it for this episode. Thank you guys, and I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.